Today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas, we're going to make a really delicious fall pasta dish that I know you're going to enjoy. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back. So let's talk about our delicious ingredients that we're going to need. First of all, you're going to need 1 pound of farfalle pasta noodles. You're going to need, this is approximately 3 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. You need 1 package, 8 ounce of mushrooms, baby portobello mushrooms. We're going to need some salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. You're also going to need some thyme leaves, very important. You're going to need about a cup of Gruyere cheese, okay? So you're going to have to shred your Gruyere cheese. We're also going to need about a cup of mozzarella cheese and about 3 medium-sized onions and approximately 10 little garlic toes, and we're going to mince that. And you're going to need some butter, Worcester sauce, and also some red wine vinegar. You need a cup of white wine. I'm using actually this is Dr. Lucen Riesling wine. And we're going to be needing around 3 to 4 cups of beef broth and some water. So let's start cooking. Okay, so for this dish, you're going to need a Dutch oven. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put around 3 tablespoons of olive oil, pure olive oil. And we're also going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to melt that butter, and then we're gonna add our onions. Okay, so in my onions here, don't forget this is 3 cups of yellow onions that have been cut up small, chopped very small, and I added 1 teaspoon of salt and approximately a teaspoon of pepper. Giving it a nice stir, nice mix. I'm gonna cover it, and we're gonna cook that for around 20 minutes until it is a golden color. Okay, let's take a look at the onions. They're looking good. I still want them a little bit more golden than that. So we're gonna kind of cook this for about 5 more minutes. So this takes around 20 minutes or so, all right? 15 to 20 minutes. We'll be back. So let's take a look at our onions. You can see that they're kind of golden, and that looks good. Maybe another minute or 2. And then we're gonna add our mushrooms. Remember, that is 1 package of baby portobello mushrooms. I think it's around an 8 ounce container. And then we're also going to add our minced garlic. That was around 10 garlic toes. And then we're gonna add a little extra garlic powder, onion powder, and we're gonna add some thyme, some fresh thyme leaves. All right, that looks good. I'm adding my garlic now. Now this garlic I actually chopped up myself with a knife. You can use one of those garlic presses, but Sometimes I like to just chop it up myself. I feel like sometimes when you use the garlic press, it takes some of those juices away from the garlic. So I just kind of chopped it up real small myself, minced it myself, adding it to my onions here. I'm gonna let that cook for about another 2 to 5 minutes, along with the mushrooms. I'll get my mushrooms here. Now, don't forget to wash your mushrooms. So I already washed my mushrooms. I'm gonna stir that in there. We're gonna cook this, like I said, for around 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna add some garlic powder. This will do enough to cover the top. And garlic powder, so that's onion powder, garlic powder. And then, super important, thyme leaves. And I'm gonna do, probably just cover the top with the thyme leaves. Okay, make sure it's nicely coated. Give that a nice stir. Smell those thyme leaves. It smells so good. You can, of course, use fresh thyme leaves if you want. I'm just using the dried thyme leaves. And I love this dish in the fall time, guys. This is just so great. When the air is starting to get a little cooler out there. In Texas, it's not that much cooler, but it's cooler. We had like 110 over the summer for so many days. It was so hot, and now today's high, I think, was around 90. So this is a great meal to make when it gets a little bit cooler out. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook for another maybe 3 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at our mushrooms now. Wow, that looks so good. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Lower that heat a little bit. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to add our 1 cup of white wine, and we're gonna cook that for approximately 2 minutes. You want to try to evaporate that alcohol, so we're going to let it simmer for approximately 2 minutes or so. After that, we're going to add our beef broth, which was around 3 to 4 cups, and then we're going to add our 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar and 3 cups of water. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes, and now I'm going to add my beef broth. I'm going to add 4 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire. One tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then 3 cups of water. There's 1, 2, and 3. All right, give that a nice stir. I'm going to put up the heat. We want to bring this to a boil. And once this boils, then we're gonna add our pasta, and we're gonna cook our pasta in here. Okay, give that a nice stir. Okay, so my water is boiling, so I'm gonna add my farfalle noodles. We're gonna cook this for around 10 to 11 minutes. And just cook that in there. I'm gonna lower the heat. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna cook this for around 10 to 11 minutes. So my farfalle noodles are in here. Let me lower heat. I'm gonna cook that for around 10 to 11 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm just going to sprinkle, I'm gonna get a bowl here, put some olive oil in here, and I'm gonna brush this French bread with the olive oil. You want to make sure you brush it nicely. So this is just French bread that I got at Target. And this is only around 7 pieces or so. You just want enough that's really going to cover the top of this dish. We're going to actually put it under the broiler with the cheeses. And so I'm going to add just a little bit of thyme to that. Just a little bit, sprinkle it on. And then we're going to add this once the pasta is cooked. Okay, so we have a couple of last steps to do. We're gonna add our 3 ounces of cream cheese. Gonna stir that in there. The pasta is cooked. It's been 11 minutes. We're adding that cream cheese. We want to make sure that cream cheese is nicely melted in here. Yum. Well, how can you go wrong with cream cheese, right? Like I said, this is such a warm, hearty, delicious meal to make during the fall season. It's perfect. Yum. Gonna make sure that is melted in there nicely. Stir, stir, stir. Get all those lumps out if you see any. Just keep stirring. And we're also going to add another tablespoon of the vinegar. That's that red wine vinegar. Just stir that in there nicely. I'm gonna turn on my broiler now. We're gonna let this cook for just about 2 minutes or so. I'm gonna turn on my broiler, and then we're going to start adding the bread and the cheeses. Okay, so while the broiler is heating up, I'm going to start to place my bread, and I'm placing it right on top. You wanna make sure the whole top is covered. And I think I made a little extra, but that's okay. We'll just squeeze it in here. Okay, yum. All right, so we got the bread there. I'm going to add my 1 cup of mozzarella or mozzarella cheese. Sprinkle it on top like that. And then I'm gonna add my yummy Gruyere cheese. Oh, I just love Gruyere. So yummy. Look at that. Perfect. All right. I'm going to be putting this under the broiler, and for about 2 to 5 minutes or so, we want to make sure we watch it and make sure it doesn't get too brown. And then it'll be ready. You have to wait around 5 minutes or so before you serve it. Okay, so into the broiler it goes. 2 to 5 minutes. So here it is. Oh my gosh, it looks so great. Look at that. Smells so good too. So you need to wait for around 5 minutes or so before you start to serve it. We're gonna have a taste test. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're gonna cut into it. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. It looks so good. It's just some prep work, guys, but other than that, it's really easy to make. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yum. Those mushrooms, the cheese. The pasta. Oh, wow. Okay. And I did sprinkle a little bit more thyme leaves on top. Make it look pretty. All right, let me cut up my bread a little bit. All right. It smells so good. Let me get a bite. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Perfect. The pasta is cooked perfectly. The cheese, the Gruyere cheese mixed with everything. Oh my gosh. It is so good. Two thumbs up, delicious. I'm telling you, you've got to try it. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe. And please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye. So good.